This definitely isn't the path Tory Lanez envisioned when he thought about getting out of prison. Not through legal victory, not through parole, and certainly not as a victim. Yet, fate took a violent turn for the controversial Canadian rapper and singer when he became the target of a brutal attack inside a California state prison. The artist, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, was reportedly stabbed during an altercation in the prison yard of California Correctional Institution at Tehachapi early Monday morning. The stabbing incident was severe enough that he had to be transported to a civilian hospital in Bakersfield, prompting an urgent and unsettling buzz both behind bars and across social media. According to several sources, including one from within law enforcement, Tory's injuries were significant, though not life-threatening. Still, it was a stark reminder of the volatile environment within the correctional system, and how fame offers no immunity there. Details about the attack remain scarce, and the motive is unclear. But what is clear is that Tory Lanez, despite his celebrity status, is still subject to the same dangers as any other inmate. The stabbing came out of nowhere, according to some insider accounts, and was executed with disturbing swiftness. Tory was said to have been walking in the yard when another inmate approached him and launched the assault. Within seconds, guards intervened, chaos erupted, and emergency medical staff were called in to assess the damage. He was then rushed by ambulance to a nearby hospital in Bakersfield, a place far removed from the spotlight he once thrived in. Yet now, it holds the eyes of a public glued to every twist in his saga. This incident happened just days after Tory Lanez posted a photograph of himself from behind bars. The image showed him shirtless, flexing and grinning, looking surprisingly well-adjusted and even muscular, as if to suggest that prison had become just another challenge to conquer. In the caption, he teased the release of his next album, suggesting that despite his incarceration, he was still focused on music, on creativity, and on proving his resilience to a world eager to write him off. That post made waves, with fans praising his optimism and detractors mocking the tone-deaf bravado. Now, with the image of a smiling Tory still fresh in the minds of his followers, the stark reality of prison life has intruded, not with a press release, but with bloodshed. Tory Lanez is currently serving a 10-year sentence after being convicted for the 2020 shooting of fellow artist Megan Thee Stallion. The case has been one of the most talked-about celebrity legal battles in recent memory, filled with social media feuds, explosive courtroom testimonies, and a public that seems deeply divided. Tory has consistently maintained his innocence, even after being found guilty of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Megan, on the other hand, has been equally unwavering in her account, stating that Tory shot her in the foot following a heated argument after a Hollywood party. The shooting left her traumatized and fueled an avalanche of online harassment, something she continues to fight against. What makes this current moment even more complex is that, despite the prison sentence and the time that has passed, the tension between Tory and Megan hasn't cooled. In fact, it's intensified. Megan Thee Stallion is still pursuing legal action against Lanez, accusing him of orchestrating a prolonged campaign of cyber harassment against her. She claims that even from behind bars, Tory has worked with bloggers, influencers, and online personalities to smear her name, question her trauma, and undermine her credibility. These accusations paint a disturbing picture, one in which a public figure uses whatever tools remain at his disposal, even from within a prison cell, to continue a personal vendetta. While Tory recovers from his injuries, his team has been largely silent, releasing no formal statement about the stabbing. That silence speaks volumes, either as a strategic pause to assess the legal and medical implications, or as a sign that even those closest to him are grappling with the reality of what just happened. Some insiders suggest that Tory may have been targeted not because of his specific crimes, but because of the notoriety surrounding his case. In prison culture, fame is a double-edged sword. It can offer protection and status among certain inmates, but it can also make you a marked man, especially if your case involves a woman, a gun, and allegations that inflamed the cultural zeitgeist. Adding to the tragic irony is the fact that Tory's incarceration had seemingly taken a more disciplined turn. Prior to this violent episode, sources close to the artist claimed he had been focused on improving himself, physically, mentally, and musically. He had reportedly been working out regularly, writing lyrics daily, and even exploring legal avenues for an appeal. That Instagram post of him flexing behind bars wasn't just for show. It was, in some ways, a message to the world. I'm still here. I'm still strong. I haven't given up. But prison is unforgiving. It doesn't care about your mixtapes or your millions of followers. In there, strength is about survival, not stardom. Reactions to the news of the stabbing have been varied. Tory's fans, still loyal despite everything, flooded social media with messages of support and concern. Many expressed outrage that the prison failed to protect him, demanding answers and vowing to stand by him no matter what. Others, less sympathetic, viewed the attack as a form of karmic retribution, an inevitable reckoning for someone they believe caused immense harm. And then there are those caught in the middle. People who once danced to his music, who admired his artistry, but who now feel conflicted, unsure whether to feel sadness, anger, or indifference. There's also a larger question that looms over this entire saga. What does justice really look like? Is a 10-year sentence enough to account for the harm Tory caused Meghan? Was it too harsh? Should he be allowed to make music from prison, to build a brand, to maintain influence? Or should incarceration mean true separation from public life? And now, with the added element of violence, how does the prison system reconcile its duty to protect inmates, even famous ones, while maintaining order and discipline? These are not easy questions, and there are no easy answers. For Tory Lanez, this attack marks another dark chapter in a life already marked by controversy, talent, and downfall. Born in Brampton, Ontario, he rose through the ranks of the music world with undeniable charisma and a knack for blending R&B and hip-hop in unique ways. Hits like Say It, Love, and Talk to Me helped solidify his place in the industry. He was a collaborator with artists like Chris Brown, Meek Mill, and Quavo, often praised for his versatility and work ethic. But with fame came instability, legal issues, public feuds, and a growing reputation for volatility. The shooting of Megan Thee Stallion in 2020 was the turning point, the moment when Tory's career trajectory shifted from meteoric to catastrophic. The trial itself was a media circus with every detail dissected in real time. Megan's emotional testimony, Tory's attempts to cast doubt, and the relentless online commentary made it feel less like a legal proceeding and more like a spectacle. When the guilty verdict was read, it sent shockwaves through both the music industry and the broader conversation about accountability, misogyny, and the treatment of Black women in the public eye. In the months that followed, Tory seemed determined to maintain some semblance of control over his narrative. He dropped music that alluded to the case, gave cryptic statements, and portrayed himself as a man wronged by a system that never gave him a fair shot. That defiance earned him praise in some circles, particularly among fans who viewed the trial as flawed or biased, but it also deepened the chasm between him and his critics. His continued legal troubles, including the ongoing civil case with Meghan, only added to the storm.